So I remember working with MO, and I remember visiting 701 Whaley, and they were bursting at the seams. They were, had great energy, a great vibe. And I remember literally as we were headed back to City Hall one day, Mayor Benjamin said, "Hey, we gotta focus, we gotta work." And I remember rolling up our sleeves literally with Missy Gentry and Jeff Palen and some of the city staff to figure out the logistics of what block of Main Street. How do we make sure that all of the nuts and bolts necessary to make it successful, how it worked? How do we make sure the interface between some of the businesses, the restaurants, you think about Museum of Arts and the programming that we have up and down Main Street, even on Saturday mornings, how do we make sure it's a full force multiplier? I remember because, we have a vibrant arts community here, very vibrant cultural scene. I remember, factoring in, some of the festivals and events that we have here. How do we make sure that, Soda City Farmers Market, how do we make sure the interaction between game days is something that is a opportunity for us? And I'll just never forget, as we expanded it and, we looked at several iterations of the ordinance so that as Soda City Farmers Market grew, it could be an incubator for some of the small businesses, some of the food trucks, something that folks could enjoy, some of our buskers, all of those different elements of Columbia are now on display. I remember working through how do we make sure that we are creating this melting pot for Columbia.